We are a channel that appreciates its viewers. We give our utmost effort for the best quality content, and we even push for the highest quality effort when it comes to how we look for you on screen.
Hi. When I need my skin to look its absolute best when I'm blowing the heads off zombies, I set my ring light to 4700K. Because I care. Maybe he's born with it.
Join our community. Join a channel that loves its viewers. Join this channel because we care.
I got it right this week. I didn't have the banner with What's going on, Daddy-O?
Oh, not a whole lot. I was surprised. I started work on the beatdown this when I got in here today, and I got it finished. And I'm like, what? In one setting? I'm like, that's rare.
I am excited to see that, dude. I always love every episode that you come up with a beatdown. So much fun.
I brought in some of more of the Star Wars-y sounds and stuff like that, and the music and stuff, because you mentioned that before. You know what? I think I'll bring that back in a slightly different way. Mix it up more.
I'll definitely be checking. Hopefully Mezzo has that up after. I know I saw the link go in, but I don't know if it actually hit the channel yet. So
yeah. I gave her one on our conversation chat thingy, and then I put one into the beatdown one, so that way it gets there one way or the other.
Yeah. You should only ever need to put it in beatdown, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So, my friend, today is we have a topic today, just like always.
We do.
It's how did we come up with this one? Was this your suggestion?
Fibromyalgia?
Where did fibromyalgia come from?
I want to say Chris or Alex. I don't know. I forget which one. Maybe it was me. I don't know. But
for whatever reason, we have decided that fibromyalgia is going to be our topic for this week.
Yeah, it just happened.
Right. And this is something that a lot of people deal with. But I really feel like it's one of those really misunderstood diseases that people are having a tough time getting there. It's difficult for me to necessarily get my head wrapped around it.
Out of respect to a person that you started a foundation, it's no longer, but she passed away. But Fibroduck here, I still have my little Fibroduck from back in the days when I supported Fibroduck Foundation. All the little dots represent everywhere that the body can experience fibromyalgia.
Oh wow!
I had to draw these back on there because I had this thing go with me everywhere. I had it glued to the top of a cap. I had and people would be asked, what's the duck? And I would tell them fibromyalgia. It was a perfect segue in. And I helped probably about 30 or 40 people in real life as I'd go around doing my thing and stuff. And what's with the duck? And I would tell them all, and they're like, I have fibromyalgia. I know somebody with fibromyalgia. And I'm like, cool, go here, check this out. You'll find information. So I'm just kind of paying a little homage. I'm going to read this up here for us all so we have an idea. Hey, Alex.
What's up, Alex?
We got fibromyalgia. It's a chronic, long-lasting disorder that causes pain, tenderness throughout the body, as well as fatigue and trouble sleeping. Scientists do not fully understand what causes it, but people with the disorder have a heightened sensitivity to pain.
Yes.
Which sucks.
Right. And it's, we are very, very fortunate. We have a guest tonight that actually can tell us a little more about it and give us firsthand experience. So many times, for those that are regular viewers of the show, we try to go out into pop culture. We try to find videos. We try to find movies. But there's nothing like having somebody who deals with that can tell you firsthand what it's like.
Precisely. And
so
it's awesome that
we
we have this awesome guest here too.
Yes, and later on this episode, we'll be meeting a dear friend of mine, and she is going to let us know a little bit more about this. One thing about this disease, I had a list here. I found a list of myths and facts about fibromyalgia, and when I was reading through this, what I was really struck by was, first off, this is something that they say affects women more than men, women up to 75% of the time, but it does deal with men. And this goes to a little bit of a bigger problem. We haven't talked about it as much on this show, but a lot of times, particularly in the past, if you were a woman, or particularly if you were a woman of color, if you were a black woman or an Indian woman or something like that, a lot of times doctors did not take their pain seriously.
Yes.
For some reason, women weren't, if a woman said she was having pain, but they couldn't directly nail down what that was to, they would just say it's in her head.
Yeah. And for some reason, ethnic people have more tolerance to pain than I guess.
That's what the doctors somehow believe.
Yes, but it's a freaking false thing.
Right. Everybody deals with pain exactly the same. I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're an
Purple.
alien from Mars. Pain is pain. And if you are suffering from pain, first off, nobody should ever tell you what you are and are not dealing with.
That's right.
Nobody knows your body like you know your body.
Yes.
And so if you're not getting the correct diagnosis, if you're getting a doctor that just keeps blowing you off, go find somebody else until you find somebody that will listen to you. Because this is a really this is a very real thing. And that's actually one of the myths. Fibromyalgia is a catch-all disease. Fibromyalgia has specific criteria. A lot of times doctors will just dump it into a category of fibromyalgia if they can't figure out what it is.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that, what's up, Thomas? Thank you for tuning in.
Thomas, welcome.
Oh, Alex says his girlfriend's grandmother has fibromyalgia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so a lot of times if doctors can't figure it out, they'll just call it fibromyalgia. And what's sad is okay, so another misconception is a lot of times people think it affects the joints. Really, it does not affect the joints. Now, it can affect joint places, but it's actually affecting your muscles and the nerves.
And
go ahead.
And exactly. This is what the little duck was supposed to be a representation of. Everywhere the dots are everywhere that the fibromyalgia can take place. And like you mentioned, it's in the muscle fibers, it's in the nerves with the nose and stuff. So it can happen anywhere.
Right.
Headaches, it can cause headaches, it can cause pain, it could cause tenderness, it could cause fatigue. And you might think, well, why the duck? Think of a duck walking on land. They're very awkward. When they're in the water, they're very graceful. And that's kind of how people with fibromyalgia are. During their lives before fibromyalgia, they were very graceful. With fibromyalgia, they're a bit awkward and kind of out of sorts and don't really, have a place that really they fit into anymore. And like you're saying here with these myths, these are hitting it right on the head, buddy. They are wow. These are exactly some of the things that my old friend used to tell me about all the time, that people would tell her all about and that she went through and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, you're nailing it, buddy.
I do it. It's not like this all come off the top of my head. I do want to let everyone know this is. I'm getting my information from everydayhealth.com.
Okay.
So it was a list they had about myths and things about fibromyalgia. A lot of people think that fibromyalgia and arthritis are the same thing, and they are not. That's a little bit of what we were just talking about, where arthritis is more of a joint issue, whereas fibromyalgia is a muscle and nervous system issue. Some people believe that a very special diet needs to be eaten, and unfortunately, no specific diet has been shown to help just to help in general. Now, I say this because of something else that you brought up. There are so many little symptoms of fibromyalgia that no two people with fibromyalgia will experience the same thing.
Precisely. Yes.
Some people are going to be just massively fatigued all the time. Some people are just going to be in, raving insomniacs. Some people are going to be in chronic pain. Some people are going to experience all of these things.
And then some people might experience it intermittently, where it comes and stays around for a bit, then goes away. It comes back and goes away.
Exactly.
It varies per person. Here's a myth that I found. Oh, the myth is only a fibromyalgia specialist can provide a fibromyalgia diagnosis. That is completely wrong.
Mm.
Anyone can diagnose this. That's a proper medical professional and licensed to see people. Anybody
Wow.
can properly diagnose it. Your primary care doctor is a great place to start, and they are able to diagnose it. What they need is a pattern or enough information to help them start to realize, oh, this. And for some people, they might get diagnosed in 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years. Other people within months. So it
Right.
varies based on how that communication goes. So that was one of the myths that I wanted to just bring up. You're hitting some really good one. That site that you mentioned is a really good site, by the way.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, I got lucky then. And on that you were talking, you were just saying that. Hold on, that brought me to another fact. Where was this up here? Central nervous system. You know what? It'll come back to me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But this is just how my brain jumps.
It's like popcorn.
Let's go ahead and we're gonna do our videos a little different this week. This week, instead of having 3 separate things, we have 2 sets of 2. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show the first little video, talk about it for a second, show the second video, talk about it, and then I think we're gonna bring on our special guest after that.
You got it.
But we're gonna go ahead.
Part 2 type.
That's
videos.
right.
Yeah.
Part 1 and part 2.
Know.
And I do want to remind you, if for some reason you see your screen go black, just stick around.
Yeah.
When you're rewatching this show, it's called a copyright strike. When you rewatch this show, it'll just look normal, like nothing had happened. But during the actual live recording of the show, it'll look like we just got kicked off of air, which technically we did for a couple of minutes. But don't worry, we come back.
So, yeah.
Wah, wah, wah! You can't hold us down.
We're like,
all right, so let me pop on this first video. See you on the other side.
All right.
Fibromyalgia is a very common condition. It affects perhaps up to 5 to 7% of the U.S. population. It is a diffuse pain syndrome. We can think of fibromyalgia as individuals who have enhanced sensitivity to a variety of environmental triggers. The early symptoms of fibromyalgia are most characteristically pain. Pain can often be associated in one location, and then subsequently over time, that one location pain begins to evolve and spread to become diffuse and all over. Accompanying that pain is often fatigue. So sometimes patients will come to us with the chief complaint of just being tired all the time. Our research regarding fibromyalgia was prompted by lack of a diagnostic blood test for this particular condition, and the fact that patients with fibromyalgia will be searching around for upwards of 5 years looking for a diagnosis. During that particular period of time, those patients are subject to typically MRI scans, various invasive procedures, including spinal taps, amongst others, just seeking a diagnosis. Studies have looked at the health costs of patients with fibromyalgia. You'll find that those numbers are similar to patients who are on very expensive biologic or various chemotherapies for other conditions.
Wow. So that's what you were talking about, up to 5 years. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When I read, when I was reading in there, one of the one of the facts was talking about specific diagnosis for fibromyalgia, and one of the things that they said is it has to persist for a minimum of 6 months. So you can't just start having pain and then next week say that it's fibromyalgia. The doctors have to evaluate this over time. And just like he was saying, they're going to put you through a number of batteries and tests until this recent blood test has been evolved, I guess.
Yeah. So it's evolving. The way to detect it's evolving.
Right. All right. So let's go ahead and jump onto that second clip here. It's the
Okay.
same series.
Mhm.
Here we go.
We took 15 patients with fibromyalgia, and we took 15 patients with rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and lupus. And then what we used is some methodology called spectroscopy. Spectroscopy involves shining a laser through a blood sample. The laser, when it interacts with the blood cells, and specifically with the chemicals in the blood cells, vibrates. And that vibration creates what we call a fingerprint. The question we asked is the fingerprint of patients with fibromyalgia similar enough that we can differentiate individuals with fibromyalgia from rheumatoid, osteo, and other common arthritic conditions? So in our initial study, looking at 15 patients with fibromyalgia compared to 15 in other groups, we had 100% accuracy in being able to differentiate individuals with fibromyalgia from the other rheumatic conditions. We then did a subsequent study where we looked at 50 patients with fibromyalgia, compared them to 50 patients with rheumatoid, 50 patients with lupus. And again, we had 100% accuracy in being able to differentiate these fingerprints between subjects. We took this information to the National Institutes of Health and we proposed looking at 500 patients. And of course, if we were able to show the same level of sensitivity and specificity with that higher number, then we have a diagnostic blood test. So anything that we can do to enhance the diagnosis and further hone in on the specific chemical moieties that lead to the propagation of pain in these individuals, that is what prompted our investigations to try and develop a specific biomarker for fibromyalgia.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, wow.
When I watched that video, I was like, "What? Wait a minute. Let me rewatch that part again." And I'm like, "Oh, this has got to be the video that I put up." The beginning of it talks about the typicalness of it. Then the other part talks now about a solution to figuring it out. And I'm like, "Yes."
Exactly. Research on this has not been with a lot of diseases. There's been decades and decades of research. This is not one of those. This is relatively new, I guess.
Yes, because there's been little interest in it because nobody can really pinpoint it. No one can figure out a way to diagnose it. But now we got this. So hopefully that changes.
And a lot of times, there was nothing to be done about it. There was no cure
other than treating the symptoms.
Right. They from what I understand, they weren't able to find biological markers, so it's not like it's a hereditary thing necessarily.
No, it unfortunately it's not, and it can happen to pretty much anybody for different reasons.
Right. And speaking of happening to just about anybody, I would like to bring up a lovely young lady. She has been a dear friend of mine for a long, long time, and we've worked together in different capacities as well. And in working together, she many years ago had let me know about her dealing with fibromyalgia. And at the time, I really, I didn't really know what this was or what to make of it. So her name is Jennifer. She's going to be coming with us on now, and she's going to let us know a little bit about what this is. So without any further ado, Jennifer, what is your little laugh track thing or your applause track thing? wait, I'm going to drop her back out and then we'll bring her back in. Wait, we're getting the applause track ready.
Where did I put it?
Oh, dude, we are so lame.
I failed, everyone.
All right, we're going to have to do our own way. Let's bring her back in. Miss Jennifer Carpentier. All right, that's all we got. That's the best we can do, Jen.
Okay, I'll take it.
How you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
Doing good.
I thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about this. A lot of times People sometimes maybe they're embarrassed about some of the conditions, or they don't want other people to know because they don't want people to feel bad for them or what have you. So it is really an honor for us when we can get people to come on and be open about what they deal with.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
So did you see the videos with the doctor that was on right before you?
I did. I think it's neat that they're trying to develop a blood test to be able to tell if that's what's going on or something else, so that you can get the appropriate treatment.
Right.
Yeah.
For you, what did it take for you before the doctors could say? Because I assume at some point you went into the doctor, you say, "I'm in pain and I don't know what's going on," and then there had to be some kind of a process to figure out what that was. How did that work for you?
Actually, Matt did the research, and so because I was constantly in pain and tired, and there was no reason for it. There was nothing I was doing that was, using that much energy, or I wasn't working out at the gym really hard, and so like the pain points were constant, and it didn't make sense.
No contact sports?
No, I had kids. But besides that, no.
And was this something that like started all of a sudden? This is not something you've been dealing with your whole life, is it?
I don't think so. I think it started probably closer to my early 30s.
Uh-huh.
Right. And so
out of the blue?
Yeah, just kind of out of the blue. It came with migraines, and it came with depression. It came with a lot. And so, but there's a lot going on in my life that could correlate or make sense on why I was feeling that way. Like emotionally, I was stressed. Right. There was of things going on that were high triggers for anybody.
Right.
And then that was part of it. Going to a therapist was part of it. Having scans was part of it. Questionnaires. I came in with a drawing. And I just drew like a person, like a big person you would draw in preschool, right? Just big guy. And I drew like different lines that indicated different types of pain that was all over my body. And I would write if it was constant or not by adding color, right?
Oh.
And then if you compared my drawing to what it looked like, it was very similar to all the pain pressure points that they associate with fibromyalgia.
Right. Because I wish I had that diagram, but I did see a diagram where it showed, kind of like points in the neck. Yeah. Very specific parts.
Yes.
But they weren't necessarily joint issues. Like I said, they were more muscle.
Yeah, it's like almost like nerve clusters, right? To me, at least, that's what it reminds me of. I was going through biology class and seeing like the germ things, but those are like pain, like bubbles that are floating in that area that you can't necessarily pinpoint. And it's not necessarily, I don't want to say it's not necessarily happening, but it's not like you can feel it through your skin or your muscle that it's a throbbing pain there or stabbing pain there.
Or it's not like it. That was the other thing that I read about, was that a lot of times people associate it with inflammation, but it is not an inflammation. So you're not going to feel that.
No, not always. No.
Because it's a nerve issue. It's not. It's not like the muscle is damaged or something like that.
Right. And then the point can move, right? So now I have phantom moving pain. And so kind of and it's not phantom, but if you go in and you're like, I'm really hurt here, but there's no red mark, you're not bruised, it's not showing anything, it's hard to sleep, I'm losing my appetite, I'm cranky. Like,
were you getting, when this happened? Okay, first off, is this something that's like a constant thing in your life, like all throughout the day, or is it like all of a sudden, boom, you get hit with a flash of fibro? I don't know.
It's all the time. Flare-ups.
It's constant, so you wake up feeling something.
Yeah.
Okay. So after 12 weeks of that, they would then consider what you're experiencing then is chronic.
Yeah,
after 12 weeks.
Like diary, right? And so that you can bring in like notes, or you can show, like, I kept a diary for like 3 months of the different types of pain that way.
Right. Sorry about that. We just added the Boy Wonder to the screen.
Boy Wonder.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off. He does our sign language for our hearing
Diary.
impaired friends out there.
Okay.
So it is a constant thing, and then it's not just like in your neck or something. You said it'll move around your body.
Yeah, so it can be in like your neck, your shoulders, your spine, your legs, all at the same time. You can have tingling, burning in like your fingertips. You can be really tired, like after short periods of time. And then there's lots of ways that you can treat that. So after the diagnosis is when the resources open up, right?
Right.
And that's where kind of you can start getting the wealth of knowledge of different ways that you can naturally and chemically or medication wise try to manage your pain.
Okay. So I definitely want to talk about that, but I want to make sure I understand how we got there completely. So you went through like a battery of different tests. You said MRIs and different things.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did Matt, your husband, did he pretty much have a good idea that this was what it was, or did he come to that conclusion as things started kind of getting marked off that it's not this, it's not this, it's not this?
You know, he was researching it at night, and so he knew pretty much what he thought it was before he even went to the doctor, and that
Oh
kind of
wow.
sped up the process. Him knowing what we're looking for and the criteria that it met and what it didn't meet already. Does that help?
Yeah, I'm very interested. For you as somebody that deals with this, when you have something that's wrong with you and you know there's something wrong, right? And then your husband comes to you and says, I think it's this thing. And he shows you what the symptoms are and stuff. Was that a relief to you, or was it more scary to you because you knew your life was going to change essentially?
I think neither. I think it was more of an explanation. And so like it's not scary because I'm already living it. Like, I don't know all the worries and fears and everything else. I just know that I constantly ache. And so until knowing that there is something like quote unquote different or wrong or, abnormal about me, I just thought it was normal.
Right.
So knowing that there was ways to like help myself was relieving.
Right. How long have you been dealing with this now?
Oh, I just turned 40, so we can do a decade.
So 10 years of this. And in the 10 years, like, have you come to, John and I talk a lot about, John has disabilities. He's forced to be in a wheelchair for a lot of his time. And we kind of talked about sometimes when people get diseases, there's a point of like almost resistance where you're like, no, this isn't real. I'm going to fight this. And then there's the point of acceptance where you start to learn how to manage your life under these new conditions. How was that for you? Were you like, when you got your diagnosis, were you ready to move on, or was it like, no, this can't be real?
Yeah, it was like kind of like probably it was like, no, are we sure? And then it was like, oh man, all right, and that sucks, but that explains a lot,
Exactly.
And so, and it's you go through all the feelings. You definitely go through. No, this isn't real. I mean, with any type of information you get that's long lasting, or you have to take it in and let it digest.
Exactly.
Right. For you, I know that you're a mother. You're a mother of multiple children, including even children that you help. Other families and things like that. You don't just take care of your kids; you take care of everybody's kids.
Yeah.
How does this affect you living your normal everyday life, doing the things that you got to do as a mom?
Sometimes we don't get to go to the park. Sometimes I can get most of it done.
Right.
Sometimes I need to take a nap, and that's okay.
Right.
And so that's kind of, I mean, that way, but everything else, I mean, I just push through. Like it's normal. So we're gonna still go for that walk. We're still gonna go explore. We're still gonna go play. We're still,
Right.
I'm still going grocery shopping. I'm still getting up. I'm still not sleeping. I got multiple kids.
Right.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not judgment or anything. I noticed early. I think you mentioned something about smoking a cigarette earlier. Does smoking seem to cause it to get better or worse?
Or have any effect?
Or not have any effect. I'm just curious because you hear all of these things about don't smoke this, don't do this, because it's. And I'm just curious, from somebody who has something like this, does it seem to help calm things a little, or not have any effect at all?
I use cannabis. So
Oh, okay.
smoke,
Oh, I wish I could do that here. I would like to
I
try that.
cannabis. I use the CBD.
Okay, I've done CBD before.
And then I also smoke cigarettes. So there's quite a few substances that I'm on.
I'm going to stay strictly with the cigarettes because
I think
personally, those have the most unwanted chemicals that you don't want in you.
they do. I think I've only been smoking cigarettes again. This is like 23 months, right? Pretty
Oh,
much.
okay.
But I think it mentally, I think it restricts the blood flow actually, and so it
With the
has a
nicotine,
calming
yeah.
effect.
Okay.
So like if for instance like your blood's really pumping or something and you smoke, right, you have all those chemicals that
And then it slows it down.
and
Gotcha.
it restricts the blood flow, which I guess can
It also thickens it.
Yeah. Wow.
And agitation effect at the same time. Like it
Oh,
only
wow. Okay.
does-
Again, I wasn't trying to judge or anything there.
No.
I was just curious because I've never smoked anything in my life. So I did one cigarette when I was 14, coughed my lungs out for 3 months.
And really quickly,
that
I want to
doesn't
say thank you to Alex. Yes, please like and subscribe, but do not kill your friends.
Yes,
I do not advocate killing anybody.
No killing. We
Please
don't like
tell
that.
your friends, but do not kill your friends.
Yeah, don't kill. See, Alex, we're going to talk about this after we get off of here. You're fine, Alex. We're just busting your chops.
So when you
Wow.
got this diagnosis and you found out this was what it was, did you start right away with making some life changes to help you out? And did they help?
I started right away with the pain management classes,
Oh, okay.
chiropractic care. And,
Acupuncture.
no, I've never done acupuncture.
Oh, it's so relaxing.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
It is. It's weird, but it is relaxing. I don't know how that works. It makes you feel like Jello.
Yeah, dude, I could never be a heroin addict, dude. I am definitely afraid of needles, dude. That's one you will never have to worry about
Needles
with me.
don't bother me. So. These needles are super thin too.
But yeah, don't worry about it, Boy Wonder. You will not find me, in the corner with a needle in my arm. Not going to happen. I am so afraid of needles.
I mean, I got these 2 leads in my back right now. They're going to take them out tomorrow just by pulling them out. No pain medicine or nothing. They're just going to go.
So with you started making changes, and would you say that are these changes helping your life at all? The things that you were prescribed, do you have things that you do that when the pain gets intense that you can do these things, maybe take a warm bath or take a walk or something to help alleviate your pain, or medication perhaps?
Actually, okay, so I started off with the medication through the doctors. So I did did like naproxen and Tylenol, Motrin, and then they increased it and wanted to give me ones that like you have to like gabapentin or something like that, but I could be wrong on that.
No, the gabapentin is for nerve pain.
Yes.
Nerve pain. Yeah, so that
Yes, I've been on a lot of those that you're mentioning.
And then that kind of kept it subdued. I was able to do quite a bit. And then 2 years ago, I started taking like all natural products. And so I was able to get off of all the medication from the doctor.
Awesome. And it's working?
Yeah, I feel.
Oh, way to go.
Like I'm hardly in any pain. Like me and my kids are very active.
Oh, that's great.
And so, but it's a combination of health practices, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you: when you first started experiencing this, but did not know what it was yet, compared to now, and doing these practices, how much control would you say fibromyalgia had over your life? Like before you figured it out, how much was it, was it shutting down 50% of your life, or, and then compared to now, like how much, where you absolutely say, I can't go to the park today, I'm just shut down?
I think fibromyalgia and the combination of everything else that they diagnosed me with, trying to figure it out, right? I think that probably had a control of like 70% of my life.
Oof.
As far as pain tolerance, headaches, light sensitivity, smell sensitivity, noise sensitive,
Right.
and then just the regular, just burning, aching pain, right? And now having it under control, taking the supplements, having great like gut health, losing 85 pounds, like it
Congratulations.
have like a 20% hold on my life.
Wow,
That's
that's
awesome.
dramatic.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And then it was taking things like collagen, which I didn't realize how beneficial was to me. Taking enzymes that break up all 5 food groups. It wasn't just one, you know, introducing myself to cannabis and using that as a pain relief instead of using prescription medication.
See, I hope they make that legal here in my state.
Yeah.
So that was huge change as well.
Right.
Nice.
What would you say? And we're gonna get ready here and wrap up in the next minute or two, Jennifer. But what kind of advice could you give for somebody who had just found out they have fibromyalgia?
You have a direction. Like, how awesome is it to know which direction to take now, to have resources available to you from people who've already done the research? You're entering into a phase where there's lots of information, and that makes you knowledgeable, which can put you in charge of your own body, of your own pain, your own mentality, your attitude, your inner peace.
Yes.
What is happening to you is real, first of all, and that there are ways that you can help yourself gain back some of that, some of the control over the pain.
Right.
Very well said. That is so true. I mean, I've got so many times people are like, was it better knowing about your situation or not? I'm like, it's always better knowing about your situation, always, because in that way you, like you said, you got direction. You have a area now you can look into for more info, and such good advice there. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, Jennifer, I really
Excellent.
appreciate again you coming on and talking to us about this. Any last closing words of wisdom before we let you go?
Be able to trust your own instincts, and believe it or not, diet and your mental health have a lot to play with it as well. And so it's a combination.
Okay. Excellent. Jennifer, I cannot thank you enough. Please give Matt my love. Give everybody in the family my love. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. You rock.
Yes.
All right. Peace.
Wow.
What did you think of that, my friend?
Awesome interview, man.
We were very, very fortunate to be able to talk to Jennifer.
Yes. I definitely.
What was that? Sorry.
Oh, he's saying sorry he was late. I think that's
yeah, don't worry about it, homie. Life happens.
Wow. Excellent questions, my friend.
Alex just came in and said I had a question for. Wait. Hold on. Please like and share. Tell everyone tonight's topic fire round. Please let all your friends. Yep, no problem. But he did say I had a question for her. How did you know that you had fibromyalgia? Jennifer, I'm going to bring you back really quick, but I think this is where she was talking about her husband doing research.
Yes.
But I'm just going to let her answer that real quick because she's still backstage. So you did have a specific question, and I didn't want to put words into your mouth.
Yeah, Matt had looked it up, and then the doctor, through tests and questionnaires and talking with me and several visits, and a doctor.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did we freeze?
Was able to go ahead and diagnose me with fibromyalgia after they realized that I had met the criteria for it.
Right. And that was that criteria we were talking about at the beginning. There's a very specific list of criteria for
And it's got to
fibromyalgia.
last at least 6 months.
Go, you guys, to the cdc.gov and then look up specific things such as fibromyalgia to get there, be able to get direct information.
Excellent. Thank you.
I use them all the time. Better than going to any of these .com sites, which are usually trying to promote something. You go to the government site where they're just simply giving you the information as they have it. Smart.
This one will connect you with a group. Different. I think there's like 2 or 3 different groups for fibromyalgia on there that they can. There's direct links for.
Excellent.
Right. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna let you go again for real this time. Yeah.
For real.
For reals. All right. Bye, love.
She's awesome.
She is.
Wow. Very intelligent young lady. Very well done. Questions. I mean, I'm like watching you just like, dude, man, he's a pro at this. Me, I'm sitting there going,
Sorry. I do this every Sunday night. It's usually about lightsabers, but tonight we have a real topic. So that was a plethora of information. I am very excited to know that there are things that you can do to help relieve the pain, though. So many of the different topics that we talk about, you just, SOL. There's not much they can really do for you.
Yeah.
In fact, you and I have joked about, like for some of these, breathing just doesn't cut it.
True.
So it is encouraging to me to hear from Jennifer that there are things that you can do. When I was looking on that list of myths and truths, one of the other things it had said was, people with fibromyalgia can't exercise because of the pain. And what it actually said was that, in fact, if you start exercising, it may be painful for you in the beginning, but it's kind of like building up those muscles, right? Once you have it built, it will actually make you a lot more resistant to the pain in the long run. So even though exercising may seem tough, especially in the beginning, if you're just starting to do it, it's still good for you.
Yes. That's what some of the things over the years that I've dealt with my chronic pain is trying to do things. That's why I'll still hook a little trailer on the back of my chair and I'll go wheeling around town. I'll get out there and still try to be as active as I can, because even though it doesn't get rid of my chronic pain, it still makes me feel good. Right. It still makes me feel good to be out and about and doing things. So that helps your mental mindset. That helps you overall, your whole, just everything about it. But yeah, exercising, taking it gentle. You're not forcing through it, but take it gentle through what you're going through, and then continue to push it just a little bit at a time. That way, you're likely to get through that tough part and succeed.
Right. Metz is reminding me about my exercise that I need to start doing. Metz is going to be helping me out on my health issues.
Oh, wow. Get to work.
She's a fantastic director in more than just videos. Speaking of which, I would like to get to our next set of videos here. This is a performer that you may or may not recognize. She is a famous singer and actress. She's in the Joker too. When that comes out, she will be here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on this interview from Oprah to Miss Lady Gaga. So here we go.
But I struggle with mental health issues, and I struggle also with chronic pain. Some call it fibromyalgia. Or neuropathic pain.
What does that mean, fibromyalgia? What does that mean?
That is a very big question, Oprah. So fibromyalgia is essentially a chronic pain condition that makes your body hurt through your brain. Now, someone that might be watching this that has it might be saying, don't tell me that my fibromyalgia is in my head, because my whole body hurts. And even sitting here with you today, I am in head-to-toe pain. But what's interesting about it is that I have found through neuropsych research and my relationship with my doctors that fibromyalgia can be treated through mental health therapy. And mental health is a medical condition. It should be treated as a medical condition. It should not be ignored.
So twice you've said you have mental health issues.
Yes.
What does that mean for you? Because as I was sharing with you on the phone, I have a girls' school with girls who've come from traumatic backgrounds.
Yes.
And I didn't know until I started the school, because I had this idea that I'm going to create the school and everybody's going to come and they're going to get an education, and then they're going to go out in the world and everything's going to be fabulous. I had no idea the impact that trauma has on your mental health.
Well, I've shared this with you, and I will share it again, very vulnerably with all of you. I could open my book and read it, but I'll just tell you. So I was repeatedly when I was 19 years old.
Hello?
Hey, you. Yeah, there was a bit there where she talks about a very, very hard subject to talk
Specific
about.
type of trauma.
Yeah,
Right.
and I didn't want to just
something
cut that out of there, so I wanted to kind of leave that in there so you understand just how open she is. She's really an amazing young lady. She really is very open about her mental and her physical and just her life in general overall, so that people have an understanding. She's just a person.
Right.
She's just a person like the rest of us. But yeah, so fibromyalgia. I mean, you wouldn't think of like a super mega star like that having that problem.
Right. And a lot of times we think that, if they are a super mega star,
They got
can
it all.
hire the best doctors and they'll just fix them right away.
Yeah.
But as
And
we
that-
can see, it's not the case.
Yeah, money sometimes can't fix everything.
Right. Celine Dion, when we were talking about her stiff person syndrome,
Yeah.
she can have the best doctors to help her ease her through it, but it's still something that she has to deal with, kind of on her own.
Yeah.
So fibromyalgia, there are many things that you can do. We talked about a lot of them. We were very fortunate to have Jennifer on and kind of go through some of the things that you can do to help relieve fibromyalgia. Unfortunately, there is no cure at this time for fibromyalgia. In fact, I would say that we're in kind of the early stages of learning about this disease and really treating it. She's got a whole list here. I'm trying to see. Let me see if I can copy. And in fact, here Jen has a list. Let me see if I can copy and paste this into the comments. This is her
I'm
list.
asking permission.
Oh, that's probably a smart idea. I have it ready.
I did the same thing. Okay, I'm going to paste it now. I got it.
I got it.
There it goes. All right, because this young lady is amazing. You picked, an awesome guest. Very brilliant young lady. So thank you, Jennifer, very much for being a part of this, because it's interfacing with people like yourself, like anybody else that's tuning in and stuff, that want to share about their experience when we're talking about a topic they know about. That's what makes it so amazing, this whole thing, is to be able to connect with people. I mean, fibromyalgia, you may not think, or pain or mental illness, why would we want to connect about that? You'd be surprised on how many people have to deal with stuff. You never know where they are in their journey.
Right. And a lot of them aren't going to tell you about it too.
No.
I'm sure Jennifer doesn't go around, hi, I'm Jennifer. I have fibromyalgia.
Yeah. Melatonin. So yeah, it's like you wear a shirt and you got this thing on your car. I got fibromyalgia.
Exactly. So yeah. So I love this list here. If fibromyalgia is something that you are dealing with, or maybe it's something new to you, you can try out a bunch of these things that she has listed here.
Yeah, that's excellent stuff there.
The weight
I would throw in. I would even add to that is I would say acupuncture. Okay, make sure you get a person that actually has proper training in it. But it makes you so. You would think, oh gosh, no, it's actually very relaxing, and it's
if
not.
You say so, bro. I'm gonna take your word on that one.
Do you have any tattoos on you? Do you have any tattoos on you at all?
Yeah, I do, dude. And you know what? I'll tell you this way.
Those are more painful. Way more
That
painful.
first tattoo took me 3 hours to get. Every tattoo after that is a 15-minute tattoo. You want to know why? Because I'm a baby when it comes to pain.
Oh my god! I've always wanted to get a tattoo like right here on my arm to show the. It was a puma, black and white puma. That was one puma, but he was half black, half white, like a yin and yang, and his claws were coming down in front to represent the pain tearing through me.
Wow.
Yeah, the place that I was going to get it at closed. I was like, no. It's like $275 for the tattoo, and then it closed about a month later.
Right. All right. I think we pretty much nailed it on this one, right? I mean, is there much we have left here to talk about with fibromyalgia?
Not really. I think the other part of the video, and that's it.
Oh, was it? Oh, did I miss one?
I thought that was that the first or second part?
Was that? Let's see. Hold on.
I did not have anyone help me. I did not have a therapist. I did not have a psychiatrist. I did not have a doctor help me through it. I just all of a sudden became a star and was traveling the world, going from hotel room to garage to limo to stage, and I never dealt with it. And then all of a sudden, I started to experience this incredible, intense pain throughout my entire body that mimicked actually the illness that I felt after. So what that is...
Were you by someone you knew?
By someone that I knew repeatedly. And it was a trauma response. So when you asked me about what fibromyalgia is, what I would like for you to know and to shine a light on is that many people don't know what it is, and we need to all get together and figure this out. And this is how we're going to do it. There's the neuropsych aspect. There's also an immunity aspect, that where there is a possibility that the immune system has something to do with fibromyalgia or trauma response or neuropathic pain, whatever you want to call it. And there's also some similarities in my condition to autoimmune diseases, but fibromyalgia is not an autoimmune disease. So what I take an oath as a commitment today with you is it's 2020, and for the next decade and maybe longer, I'm going to get the smartest scientists, doctors, psychiatrists, mathematicians, researchers, and professors in the same room together, and we are going to go through each problem one by one, and we are going to solve this mental health crisis.
Wow. Woo!
Yep.
Sorry, I missed that second one. For those little blanks, and thank you for editing that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That was the second part to the first one that we saw.
Yes.
So
yes.
She was saying that her fibromyalgia might have been triggered by a trauma response to this incident these incidents, because it was repeated, that happened to her.
Yes.
And so you can't just say, it's not, like I said, in Jennifer's case, it could have been triggered by all of these stresses that she was having in her life.
Yes.
And so you can't just say that, a fall made this happen, or you hit a certain nerve or something like that. Yeah,
there's no one trigger. I mean, it's like my bipolar, there's no one trigger that can trigger it. You never know what it's going to be until it happens.
Right. So hopefully Lady Gaga is successful in her mission and puts all of these smart people in the same room together, and we can get this thing figured out for our loved ones who
definitely
are dealing with this. All right, my friend. Is there anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it. That wraps it up, man.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. My friend, God, I always get this wrong. My friend John over here from AbiliTVs. He and myself and Robin most of the time are here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That is 8 p.m. East Coast time. We are here every Wednesday with a different medical topic. Could be physical, could be mental challenges that people are dealing with. Always something different, something new for us each week. All right.
And if Alex is still here, we'll let Alex say what the next week's one is.
Oh, is Alex?
Yeah, he picked a good one, and I'm like, I think that's a great one to go with.
Wow.
Alex,
was it in the comment box or something? Did I miss it?
I don't know. Alex?
He wasn't backstage, so I didn't know. I didn't know if you knew.
Okay.
Bueller. Well, why don't you just let people know what Alex shows?
Hang on here. I'm looking it up real quick because I can't remember, of course, right now. Because I'm a dork.
You guys having side conversation I don't even know about.
Nope. But was here in Hearts of Kyber, from what I believe. Let me go on over here. Alex, where are you, Alex? Because I think he told me, and he wanted to talk about COPD. He wants to talk about that for the next one.
I think I saw that COPD. That's like a breathing thing, right?
I think so. And I'm like, you know what? That'd make a really good next topic. I thought it was top D. I don't know why. When I first saw it, and then I looked it up on Google. I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, if I don't even know what it is, it's a good topic.
Yeah. So we'll
all right. So say it again. CPOD, right?
COPD. Yep.
CPOD. I think that, Jesus Christ, I think my mom had that. I think it's
Wow.
like a chronic lung thing. Well, I guess we're going to learn more about that next week. All right, so tune in next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Please let people know about this show. That is the only way we can continue to grow. Also, please check out our Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us out, help us keep growing and expanding shows. We have a brand new show premiering this Saturday. I am so excited. So nice. We are now, this Saturday, we will officially be a 7-day-a-week show, meaning every day there's brand new content for you every single day of the week.
Nice. And speaking of content, Mezzo, just in case you're hearing, I did give you guys the link to the current beatdown that you guys can hook up there, so you guys got something to put. I apologize for missing yesterday, but I try to get that done by Tuesday. But it's interesting for me.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that off of air. But okay. We are 7 days a week now. The new show does not have an official title. The working title, I'm going to let you know because everybody else seems to like it except for me. I'm the only one that doesn't like it. The working title of the new show is The Nerd Out. Basically, it's up-and-coming things that people are nerding out on. So whether it's video games, I know they have a horror movie section. This is going to be produced and run by our man Graveyard with all kinds of great hosts.
Oh, that's going to be good then.
I am excited about this show. This show, I was telling him, I really think this show is going to overtake Saber Rattle as our flagship show. The only reason let's be real, the only reason Saber Rattle does so well is because I give away free lightsabers on that show. If I was giving away lightsabers on this and every show, all the shows would blow up.
There you go.
I'm not that man, dude. Yeah, I have no money.
Yeah. Thinking about it. He's thinking about. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'll be thinking about it, but whether I can actually do it,
can he act on it? No,
that's a whole nother level. Hopefully the channel grows so that we can get to that point. But it can only happen with your help. So please like, subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification button. You can join our Patreon. We have a Discord. Please join our Kyber Cave production Discord, and you can talk to me or a lot of the other producers behind stage. And check out all of our shows. I don't want to go through all of them right now, but like I said, and on Wednesdays we have 2 shows on Wednesdays. Wednesdays we've got the gaming in the morning with Bets at 10 and Hearts of Kyber on at 5. So Wednesday's the only day we have 2 shows come out. Woohoo! Nice. So lots of content. Make sure you are checking that all out, and we will see you next week. Peace, y'all.
Peace.